From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, a conversation with Alex Mashinsky, entrepreneur and venture capitalist best known for inventing VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, and also putting wireless in the New York City subway system, something I'm thankful for. Thanks to VoIP, we can all make phone calls on the internet today. Now, his new project, MoIP, money over the internet. And we'll learn about that and also more from this blockchain pioneer. So this is Jane King, and this is the business of the blockchain. Welcome, Alex. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
So much to talk about. So, VoIP, voice over internet, which I've heard about for, what, 15, 20 years now?
Using it every day, I'm
least.
sure, yes.
So, how did that come about?
I was basically in the voicemail business. I had PC-based voice systems that processed voice communications, and I realized, playing with the internet back in the early 90s, that voice is going to be free. Voice is going to become an application on the internet, even though the internet at that time was really, it was all dial-up, right? It was the internet was an application on the phone system.
AOL and the ringing and all that stuff.
Exactly. So the internet was an application on the voice network. And I said, no, you don't understand. The internet is going to become so huge that the voice network is going to become an application on the internet. And today we're going through the same thing. So you mentioned VoIP to MoIP. The blockchain and cryptocurrencies are the future of everything, meaning that network is going to be 1,000 times bigger and more powerful than the internet because it requires much, much more processing power. And the largest network always wins. So I know it's going to be very controversial, but I'm saying the same thing happened with the phone network collapsing into the internet. The entire internet is going to collapse onto the blockchain. Because people think that the blockchain is a feature of the internet, but really the blockchain is like a black hole. It's just going to suck everything.
It's like Internet 3.0.
It's like Internet 3.0, yes.
And we do
it's even bigger than the internet.
Yeah, well, and we hear that a lot. Like, this is big, but it's hard to imagine that that's possible. And how?
Just like 25 years ago, it was impossible to imagine that this silly idea of a voice over IP is going to be bigger than the entire phone network.
Right.
So we always live through that. We underestimate the impact of technology in 5 years, but and then we'll see how much it impacted our life, and it's always much more than we thought.
So let's talk about the Celsius Network and your philosophy behind that, because that really kind of stemmed from the financial crisis, right?
Sure. Yeah. So it's really a very simple idea. So you get paid, right? You put your money in a bank account. The bank takes your money and immediately lends it to me on my credit card. They pay you less than 1% on your deposit, and they charge me 25% on my credit card, right? So they just do an introduction. Your money is lent to me. They keep 90% of the value, or 95% of the value. So that is just a system that should not work. Most of us, if our real estate broker or insurance broker charged us 90% of the value, we would never work with them. So I decided to do something about it, and I think that is the killer, the application of basically eliminating the toll collector and creating a system that acts in our best interest is the purpose of the blockchain. It's the purpose of cryptocurrencies. So Celsius Network enables you to deposit your coins. It enables you to lend them to someone else, and you get to keep 80% of the value. So instead of losing 90% of the value, you get to keep 80% of the value. We charge much less for loans, so we will charge a borrower like me 9%, and we will pay you 5% back. So you would still keep most of the value to yourself. So it's a very simple concept, but no one has really put all the pieces together and came and said, hey, let's create an alternative to the banks, to the financial institutions that dominate our lives.
So, okay, so you gave us a little bit of the process. What, do I go on the internet? I set up an account? Is it on my phone?
So we only support cryptocurrencies. We don't do it with dollars.
Okay.
So if you have cryptocurrencies, you can download our application, Celsius Network. We support about 16 different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and so on, Ripple.
The big ones.
Exactly. You can deposit those into the wallet. If you don't do anything, you just earn interest on it.
Okay. And you envision an entire crypto-based currency?
Yeah, so the whole economy is going to become digital, and all the assets are going to be tokenized. So we see 20 years from now, just like everybody has a cell phone and they're using VoIP and they don't even know how it works. Most people couldn't explain to you how it works. The same way, all the assets are going to move to the blockchain. All of them are going to be tokenized. Your car is going to be tokenized, meaning your title is actually going to be a digital certificate that you can deposit in the Celsius wallet and get a loan against it. Because we then hold the asset. So everything will be much more fluid and transparent, as well as fungible, right?
When do you see us living like this? Will there be
I already live there
30
now.
years, 50 years? I
So-
mean, when do you, and things are moving quickly. Things are moving faster now than they used to. So maybe it
Well,
happens
so
quicker
so
than-
yeah, so let's go back. Let's rewind the tape 30 years, and when the internet was created, in the beginning it was very hard going. The Netscape moment, 1995, brought 100 million people into the internet basically overnight, because they created that beautiful user interface and hid all the complexity of TCP/IP and HTTP and everything else.
Yeah.
So we haven't had that moment yet in the cryptocurrencies. So we haven't had the Netscape moment that really hides all the complexity. You still have to know too many things to interact with cryptocurrencies, right? And part of what we're trying to do in Celsius is really hide all that complexity, and that's why we're saying VoIP to MoIP. MoIP is supposed to be a money over IP. It's supposed to be so simple that you just click and transfer, or click and borrow, or click and pay somebody.